Well, I got down to the end of the trail here, and it's time to make some coffee, warm up a little bit. So, get our little stove started here. I'm going to use Boilex. Boilex cube to start my fire. Alright, we're using a Swiss M71 stove. These had an alcohol gel in them. I've showed them to you before. Ow, got hot fast, right? Alright. Stay. These things do have an awful propensity for tipping. All right. Cool. All right. So we're started. Put everything back. The super important little striker paper for lighting the matches. Worthless without it. And I always keep a little bit of jute right on top there. So let's see. While we're waiting for that, I wanted to show off my new acquisition. Got it right side up, yeah. Leatherman Sidekick. I really like this. And shout out to my nephew Nick and my mother-in-law Carol. They both gave me gift cards to Camp and Pack, and I was able to buy this with those gift cards. I really like this. So it's got a pocket clip. I don't have to use the sheath if I don't want to. It's very light, small, compact, smaller than the usual full-size Leathermans. Got tools that you can deploy on the outside. Saw, which I like to use a lot for notching or cutting limbs or different crafts. Saw is so useful. And then a very nice blade. These both lock, by the way. Frame lock. Okay. Hollow ground. Kind of almost a modified drop sheep foot. I don't know what else you'd call it. Very sharp, right from the factory. Of course, pliers. And then inside you have a large slotted tip. And I'm not real fond of these half Phillips. They're, I guess, better than nothing. And then the other side of the frame, you get a can opener cap lifter, a file. The file has a very, very small ruler on the back, and then it has a very small serrated blade. And if you've ever tried to cut nylon rope, you'll appreciate a serrated blade. Or another thing it's very handy for is if you want to scrape tinder. Very handy little tool for that. I know a lot of people aren't real big on serrated. But you know, if somebody came to me tomorrow and said, what one thing would you like to see? And I'm a big multi-tool fan. I would love to see a collaboration between Leatherman and Randall's Adventure SE knives. I would love to see a Randall's input on a Signal. I think Signal would be a good chassis, and I think Randall Adventure, Jeff Randall and Patrick Rollins and those guys could definitely bring some innovative ideas to that chassis. The other thing I'd like to see is a Victorinox Randall's Adventure collaboration. If they came to me and said, what would you like to see? I would recommend the one-handed Trekker chassis as the chassis for building a Randall Adventure Victorinox collaboration blade. I'd be really interested to see what kind of blade pattern Randall's Adventure would want to put on it. Serrated or not, I'm not sure. Saw definitely. Would kind of have to believe they'd probably go with some kind of a ferro rod inside of it. That would be a sweet deal. I would love to see. So those two items I'd love to see. A Leatherman Randall's Adventure SE collaboration and a Victorinox collaboration. And that would just be the cat's meow in my opinion. Take a look here. Oh yeah, we're getting some steam. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. Yeah. In fact, this is the only knife I brought out here with me today. I didn't even put anything else on. These are so handy if you've got a hot pot on the stove, you know, and you want to pick it off. You know, you've got your pliers, you can just pick it out of the fire. Not that I need that for this, but just demonstrating. But, now these have a little wire cutter in here and even a hard wire cutter down in the very low part there. But this is really nice. Here's something else I want to talk about too. I love these lanyard loops on my knives. I've lost enough gear falling out of my pocket, falling out of the sheath. I like, if I'm going to be out somewhere where I'm going to be going through brush where stuff can get hung up and pulled out of your pocket, or you can take a tumble, or you didn't lash your the flap down on your sheath and stuff gets lost. I love to hook a lanyard to my belt, around my belt, and then into this loop, just as double security that it won't become lost. Then when I'm in camp, I can take it off, do what I need to do, put it back. When I'm ready to hit the trail again, I can hook it back up. I work as a park ranger and I work on ladders, and I like to use a lanyard about 3 feet long and hook it to me, so if I drop my multi-tool while I'm working on a ladder, I can just reel it back in. I don't have to go all the way down the ground and get it, or maybe it get damaged. Big believer in these loops. So I think when I look at a multi-tool, one of the first things I look for is, does it have a loop? That's kind of critical to me. So just a few thoughts there. Don't know much what else to talk about, but it's just about coffee time here, and we got water starting to get near the boil. Some of you are probably looking at this and giggling a little bit. These have been around. Oh, look at that. That just fell out of the tree above me. There's got to be a squirrel up there, gray tree squirrel. This is freshly chewed on. I can't see him, but he's up there. These things have been around for years, these 5-in-1 tools, and I think I did a video on them. Yeah, they're kind of goofy, but you know, they're useful. They provide a few different aspects. You've got a whistle. The flint in these is terrible, just terrible. It wears down quickly. It's very soft, and you literally have to immerse this whole tool into your tinder to catch a spark. It just won't throw it any distance. And then you have a very rudimentary little magnetic compass, which works, a little oil filled. And then in the bed, the back here of the cap of the compass, you have a very tiny signal mirror. Okay. And then the barrel of this thing holds your matches. So just for cushioning, I put a little bit of jute, my striker papers in there, and I just cinch it down. I have a lot of redundant systems in my pack. I carry a lot of extra, so this is just one of those things. All right, we've got a boil, and it is coffee time. Taste your choice, coffee signals. Yeah. There we go. Get this open. This little bugger does not want to open up this morning. All right, there we go. That is good. Oh, that smells so good. Coffee orgasm here, right? All right, let's take that, set it aside for a moment. Cool. Did you see that? Didn't even use that whole Boilex cube to get a boil on that. That's probably, I don't know, about a cup. Yeah, about a cup. All right, gang. Well, thanks for joining me. Cheers, and we'll talk to you a little later, okay?